Alrighty, what's going on, guys? Just gonna do a nice little recap for you guys. So today was an interesting day. We just kind of had a big sell-off, but we were able to capitalize off a couple nice trades. So coming into the morning here, we noticed that I'll go on the 5-minute time frame to make it a little bit easier for you. So on the 5-minute time frame, you'll notice that we have this low and this low here. This is the 8:35 5-minute candle, right? So we come down and we end up, all right, yes, come on, or NQ. So we end up coming down and taking this low on NQ at 8:30, and then we fail to take that low on ES. So we have a bullish SMT here, right? We have higher draws on liquidity in the morning, right? And at this point, I'm just waiting for price to tell me more of what it wants to do. Right, I never marry a bias necessarily in the morning unless it's very, very clear. This morning it happened to not be as clear, so I wanted to wait for more structure. And that's exactly what I did. I noticed after this SMT happened, we had this 5-minute fair value gap here. I marked this out. We inverse this 5-minute gap, right? We displace out of it, but we do not close above this down close candle or the high or above this down close candle. We trade above it. And then we leave the wicks behind, right? The wicks do the damage, the bodies tell the story. So we trade up. We failed to displace above this area here. And then the opening price, or the opening candle, is right here. So if we keep this 5-minute inversion in mind, right? It's treated as an inversion, and then the inversion gets disrespected. It doesn't mean it's no longer useful. It just means that, it's done what it's done. You can still use it as levels, as support or resistance, if that's even what you want to call it. But coming into the open, right here, this candle trades up into what? Into that 5-minute inversion. The old 5-minute inversion. I got inversed again, and now it's getting retested, right? If we also look, this whole move here, this range, we trade up into what? A premium, into a fair value gap, right? What do we also notice here? Right, we have what? Our high, our low, our lower high. This whole entire move here is your mitigation, right? These are very powerful in the markets, and a lot of people overlook this. It's a whole move, right? So this whole from, what is this, AB? It's from C to D. This whole leg, this is what you want to be marking for your manipulation, or for your range to trade up back into, and then look for shorts. So that's what happened, right? We have our mitigation here, we have our high to low here, and then we trade up into a premium with a premium gap that's respected, and that's exactly what news did, that's exactly what the opening price did. Trades up, manipulates into this area, and then trades lower. Unfortunately, I didn't get an entry off this because there really was nothing. I even went to like as low as the 10-second, and there wasn't anything to take. So I just continued to wait. A lot of people can get FOMO from this, but you have to be able to realize that if your setup does not appear, do not take it. It's as simple as that. So just kind of waiting for more action of what price wants to do. So right here is previous day's low. So we actually come and trade down, this fair value gap here on NQ gets traded up into on ES. So that is now acting as like some sort of SMT for the fair value gap. Now that this is supposed to be a breakaway gap in my eyes, I look to see how we respect this order block here. We respect it nicely, and then we trade below this up close candle, trade back up into it, right? This is your propulsion block, and this propulsion block sends us lower straight to the draw on liquidity, which was the previous day's low. And then we also had an hourly low down here, and then another hourly low down here. So the trade that I ended up taking was this trade here. So we get our mitigation, right? Our high, our low, our lower high, our lower low, and then we trade up into that mitigation. All right, let me get rid of this so I can show you. We trade up into the mitigation, into what? BC. This is our range after the mitigation. What's inside? What's in a premium of the leg after the mitigation? We have our fair value gap. We trade up into it. We have a sweep of a high inside of a fair value gap, immediate rejection, and that's the 10 a.m. candle. That's news. News acts as our manipulation, just like 930 did right over here, right? And then we get an inversion. Wasn't a strong close, wasn't convincing enough, so I just ended up shorting the next candle over, and then took partials at this low here because it made sense. Price already displaced so much, and I'm pretty sure we had an SMT at that time, so I wanted to make sure that I wanted to secure some profits before, you know, potentially a reversal back up to buy side. So that's what happened. We inverse this gap. I get in here, I partial here, I move my stop to break even. We trade lower, we get really close to my break even, and then obviously we get really close to my TP, we edge it. Looks like we wanted to come up here, and there was a 3-minute order block, I believe. Let me double check. Yeah, 3-minute order block that we wanted to trade up into. And then we just start to come down a little lower, and then I actually add another contract right here after this inversion, and then hold the rest down to this low. I do have a picture of it right here. This is the trade. Boom, boom. Add again there, and then get out there. And then this was another trade that I took on NQ before this trade, right? Remember how I told you about the order block? I saw that order block form, and I was just anticipating an SMT to happen with that fair value gap because I've seen it so many times, and the draw's right there. So I just enter here. We get a nice big candle down, and then immediately go back up. And then this is when we get our SMT. So as soon as we get our SMT, I add another one after that candle closes after the SMT, and then I enter and immediately dumps, and then hits that previous day's low. And then obviously we have our other targets down there, the other 2 hourly lows. So that was really it today. It was pretty simple. You know, depending on how you traded, you might have gotten out here or maybe stopped in profit or whatever. But this just kind of goes to show you, if you're confident with the overall draw, you know, no matter what price does, if you just have the patience and the willingness to hold, you know, you should be fine, right? If your rules or strategy requires you to trail your stop and you get stopped out in profit, oh well, it is what it is. That's what your rules are. So that's all I got for you guys today. Hopefully you enjoyed. If there's anything I can improve on, any comments or suggestions that you guys have, leave them down below or leave them in my Discord, trading chat, whatever. Make sure you guys go ahead and join the Discord if you haven't already. There's so much free content in there, and just it's growing by the day. So go head up in there, and there's going to be a lot of good stuff for you. So that's all I got for you guys. I will see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.